Let me know when we're recording.
We're literally recording right now, dude.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of For the Boys podcast. You remember us, right? We're your friends. We're worried about you.
Where the fuck are you going with this?
We think you need to get some help. I mean, this is just starting to get out of control. Anyway, I'm your host. Actually, I'm one of the hosts of this show. My name is Hayden, and with me are...
But wait, which one of us is going first?
Wing it, fucker.
Wing it, pigeon.
Okay, Con.
Okay, so my name is Hayden. With me are my friends Connor
Yo,
and
might know me
Angel.
better as Phoenix.
Assad.
Assad.
Saw.
So yes, Connor, aka Phoenix. You know him. He does edits. He does good quality. He does the
Angel, I
streams
see your
and
fucking face.
all good. So, because you guys have been with us for a very long time, and we've made a lot of content over the years. We thought we would mix it up a little by getting drunk and just talking.
Oh yeah, this is the one where we drink, right?
Correct, Connor.
Hell yeah, dude.
We play video games, we drink, and we discuss topics that we have written down.
What are the topics for today?
Connor, would you be so kind as to forward me the Google Doc, and I can start us off with the
Google
topic.
Doc. Yeah, let me just overexpose the fuck out of my face right here. Oh yeah, love it, dude.
Hell yeah.
No way, it's the new Edward Cullen.
Yo, fuck you.
Actually, no, it's Michael Sierra in Sunlight.
Connor right now looks like Inspector Gadget. I love the look.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm the only one here who doesn't have a face cam because, one, I'm poor, and two, I'm poor. Anyway, hopefully that'll be rectified at some point in the future, but for now, just enjoy the content as is. Enjoy my smug man as a profile picture.
My smug man, the whiter version of a Ricardo meme.
Dude, he is White Ricardo.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, let's check
Okay,
out. I'm also playing
so
video games now, so...
oh, here's a topical one. Super Bowl's today.
Oh, right. I think the Super Bowl ended already, though. Let's see.
I think it did. Who won? Who were we rooting for?
Wait, hold up.
What are we rooting for?
Dude, yes! Okay. Just
What?
because I'm in Colorado, which is close to Kansas, and I really don't like the state of California. If we have any listeners in California, look, I'm really sorry, but your state's done a lot to our state of Colorado, and nothing nice. So,
I mean, dude,
you're
I
kinda
kind of
on the
share the
shit
same.
list.
I kind of share the same sentiment. I don't like California, just as a place in general. I just don't like it there.
Exactly. So
It's not a people thing. It's just a me thing, you know.
It appears the Kansas City Chiefs have won the Super Bowl.
Hell
and
yeah.
Yeah, it's who I was rooting for just because it's not California. So I'm very glad about this. We're not the most sportsy people here.
I'm gonna be real. I didn't even know which teams were playing until you just said them.
Yeah, dude, me neither. If it's not the Denver Broncos,
Dude, even if it is the Broncos, I still don't give a fuck.
I used to have an ex that liked the Broncos.
No, is that why he's your ex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was my ex because he cheated on me with some girl that, like, he got married to now.
Oh.
So he didn't have to go into the army. Yeah. Actually, that was the reason. Well, he was in the army for a little bit. What happened was he fell off a truck and hurt himself worse enough that they basically just discharged him.
You
I'm
got
not
there in
drunk
the
yet.
end. You got there in the end.
I did. I'm not drunk yet either. So that is full on me.
I'm pretty far along right now. Not gonna lie.
Wait, so what's everybody drinking tonight?
I shall go first then.
Okay.
I am drinking Stolichnaya vodka, certified alpha grade spirit.
Oh. Yeah, motherfucker's gonna be gone about halfway into this podcast.
This is batch 12,768. 40 proof. Not 40, 80 proof, 40% alcohol by volume. I'm almost done with a 1.75 liter, not all in one sitting. I'm not an alcoholic like my father, but this is the shit that's actually.
Back to the
This
daddy
is like
issues.
so. Dad? Dad, are you watching? Papa, your baby boy's coming home, Papa. No. This was the actual vodka that people used to drink during the Soviet Union, and there's a bit of history behind that, but that's why I like this vodka. Is, hey, I'm an enthusiast to history. I got a gun that's historical. I'm drinking vodka that's historical, and it's pretty fucking good. So, Connor, what are you drinking today, my friend?
The only alcohol I had in my garage, which is
The coronavirus?
no Stellar. Fuck off.
Man, y'all out here selling coronavirus. Come to my side. Modelo virus. It's Modelo time.
No, dude, I'm trying to get the combo going, coronavirus and Lyme's disease. They care well.
Oh, Connor, you're a character.
Fuck off.
Don't encourage him.
I said that in the most meaningful, encouraging way I could. And if you don't believe me, I'm sorry.
That sounded so fucking patronizing, dude. Fuck. Should probably mention that I'm also sick. So, got that going for me.
All right, listeners, just a heads up, Connor's always sick. So
Constantly.
just be prepared for every other week to be like, oh, I got a cold. Or also, Angel, what are you drinking?
Iced tea and vodka.
What kind of vodka? Is it Shitty K?
No, it's Grey Goose.
Hey.
Okay, Grey Goose is good. My ex that cheated on me liked Grey Goose. So
That's a story for another time.
I'm gonna be sad for 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay,
no.
let's Dude, the more I see my camera, the more I want to try and fix my lighting.
Dude, you're not ninja. You're not a professional streamer. It's all right.
You're right, but fair enough, actually. Professionally unprofessional, that's what we're going for here, right?
Exactly. We made promises to our viewers of consistency, quality, and good topics. And I give it about 2 episodes before we break that. We do it. We do this
right on
podcast.
schedule already.
I mean, we are just getting our feet wet with this podcast, and we're doing it on the weekends. But at some point, we're just gonna have to start talking about shit and sex instead of actual quality topics, which honestly maybe sooner rather than later. But here we are.
I don't think Phoenix is set for those type of conversations.
What do you mean, dude?
What do you mean, bro?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Connor, could you send me that Google Doc with all of our topic ideas?
Yeah.
God, you're not prepared. You don't have it already open. How dare you?
Angel, you just put on a shirt to do the podcast. Shut up.
That's not true. I've had it on for an hour.
No, not true.
Okay. There you go.
All right, podcast ideas and shit. So, I'll pick out a topic,
Okay.
or if anyone else does. So,
No, I'm just gonna sit here and magically start turning myself more into an e-girl because I want to put my hair up. Go on.
okay, we're gonna start kind of mild. We'll do. Let's ease into the topics. All right,
Okay.
we've all been to elementary school. We've all been to
Yep.
middle school. Most of us
Yep.
have been to high school. Angel.
What's that supposed to mean? I
I think you went to high
graduated.
school? Yeah.
I was there most of the time.
Hey, I'm just yanking your chain. Your chain has been yanked.
I don't have
I said
change.
chin, not chain. I'm yanking my chin.
Yank my chin either.
We're gonna start with something kind of simple. What's some of the worst/best teachers you've had? If you've had a best one and a worst one, feel free to say so.
Do counselors count as teachers?
I would
If
argue
you
that
if you didn't have
greater
if you didn't have an absolutely terrible teacher, then yeah, I'd say so.
impact.
Okay. Who's starting?
I kind of thought you were with that question.
Oh, okay. So 5th grade year, I had an amazing teacher. Her name was Miss Britt. She was always telling us she was just like a really good teacher. Like she was great with kids. She interacted with us in like a really funny way. We were like, it was less more of like a teacher-student relationship and more just like, oh, our friend Miss Britt.
Mm-hmm.
So she got married while we were all together, and she had to change her last name to Stolk, Stolk, and we all didn't like that because it sounds like Stolk, like you're throwing up something. So we bounce back between like Miss Stolk and Miss Britt. Anyway, she would always tell us a story. Or not, she wouldn't always tell us the same story. She was keeping us updated. So her house, she had a window well. Like, I don't know if other people in the States have these, but like if you have a basement, you usually have a window in the basement that leads to like, it's like a hole in the ground, but surrounded by metal. That's the best way I can put it. It's yeah. So this is when Sports Authority was. When was Sports Authority before it was Sports Authority? They changed their name.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Like,
what was it?
Hold up.
Sports Illustrator?
No, we're talking about a football field that we have out here.
No, I'm talking about like the actual Sports Authority company.
Oh.
So it was. What was it called?
Wow, Angela, you really just went for the basic ass e-girl hairstyle.
Yeah. Listen, man, I've been doing this hairstyle since I was in like fucking 3rd grade, so been an e-girl since birth.
All right, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the company, Sports Authority, it was called Sports Authority. It had a name before that, and I can't remember what it was. Anyway, they had this event every year called the SNIAGRAB, like SNIAGRAB, which is bargain spelled backwards. So every year they used to have this shit that was like a blowout on just stuff. It was a sale.
Yeah.
She was telling us the story. Like, we were, of course, 5th graders. We could handle some stuff, and it wasn't too graphic. But at her house, in one of those window wells, a baby rabbit fell down and eventually died, unfortunately.
Oh, no. No, I wasn't expecting this sad turn of events.
It's not sad because she told us like her laundry room was in the basement. So this is when the SNIAGRAB was going on. So she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna name him SNIAGRAB." So she used to always keep us updated on like this rabbit carcass in the window well.
Oh.
And his name was SNIAGRAB. So it would be like, "Hey, Miss Brett, how's SNIAGRAB doing today?" He wasn't feeling up to it. Or like, "Hey, Miss Brett, how was SNIAGRAB doing today?" He was doing pretty good. You know, he was lively, he was great. I was doing laundry, had a conversation with him. So she was just a great teacher. The very next year, I had the worst fucking teacher ever, and I cannot remember her name for the life of me. But this is like the closest I've ever been to a bad boy, a bad kid. Because I had a couple of friends, and like we were just like, I wouldn't say the class badasses, but it was like the class like, oh yeah, we're bending the rules. We weren't dumb. We were aggressively dumb. Like,
so dumbasses.
I don't appreciate your snide insinuations, Connor. Anyway, so yeah, I can't remember the name for the life of her, but this is like when I was like, I was like, yeah, I got some badass friends. I'm a badass kid, and she was just absolute worst. I can't really. I'm gonna try to think of an example. Anyway, she used to always like, of course, because I was with that group of bad kid friends, she used to single me out for shit, and because I was a bad kid, I was getting to like, ooh, I can steal shit here and no one will notice. Oh. So, I had an iPod Touch at the time, but I didn't have the wall adapter charger. At the school I went to, it was like a high income school in a high income area, but I wasn't high income. Anyway, so we had like iPads and shit in the classroom, and it's cool and all, but they had those wall adapter chargers, like those big brick ones. Anyway, so this is like the last day of the year. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna take one of these. What are they gonna do? They're not gonna know. I'm gonna just replace it. So we had like little cubbies underneath our desks. Like it was attached to the desk. It was like just a big cavernous space you could put stuff in. Like,
yo, I'm gonna ask you to pause really quick here, just like right in the middle.
Yeah.
Your mic's getting a little staticky over there.
Okay, hold on.
I didn't know if you were talking about the mic with me.
Pull it closer. How's it now?
Still the same.
Okay, hold up.
Hi. I didn't know if you saw this just all of a sudden drown me out. And that's what you were asking about? Because I made a terrified face as well.
Oh, I thought you made that face because his mic was just getting progressively worse.
Hello?
No, I was listening
Yo.
to that too.
Hello?
Is it good now?
Oh, it's fucking great, dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I had to blow out the port of dust, I guess. That's just like a temporary fix. It seems.
Oh, just
It's
Nintendo
really
64, that bitch.
Oh, exactly. I'm running low on computer duster, too much huffing. I'm just kidding. I don't huff computer duster, and I discourage anyone from doing it too. Do crack like the rest of them. Anyway.
The Saturdays Are For the Boys podcast does not condone any drug use.
Drug use, violence, getting
Underage
caught
drinking.
by the whoop whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop whoop. Anyway, so I decided to take one of those wall adapter chargers for the iPad, and so I stuffed it in like the back of the desk. And she was like, "Hey, Hayden, do you know where that charger went?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I must have left it in my desk after I was using the iPad." She's like, "Okay, just make sure, just return it right now and plug in the iPad." So it's like, "Yeah, okay, I can do that." So it was like last 10 minutes before school let out for the year. I went back, snagged it, ripped off the label that said property of I'm not going to say the school. It was like property of blank blank elementary. Ripped off that sticker, took it home, used it for my iPad. Never felt bad about it because she was a shitty teacher, but I was also kind of a dirtbag kid at the time. But
at the time,
anyway, I'm not that much of a dirtbag now. I mean,
everybody's a bit of a dick, Angel.
I'm like 70% all right. There's just some stuff that I can do, and it's like
better than used to be.
Yeah, I'd say personality-wise, you and I are both like a solid 7 out of 10.
For 5 out of 7, perfect score.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
brother. Anyway, so the topic of worst/best teachers you've had. Anyone?
Angel, do you want to go next, or do you want me to go?
You could go.
Okay, so I've got an answer for both of these. Let's fucking start off on worst teacher I've ever had. 8th grade. Miss fucking Keller, dude.
No boy.
8th grade math teacher. Wasn't in like 8th grade algebra or anything, it was just basic ass math. She taught an algebra class, but that's, I don't think it's relevant. Either way, I wasn't the best student, like solid B average, just shooting straight for the fucking middle,
Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah, so, sometimes I'd kind of like fuck up and forget to turn in like some assignments, right? As people do. People fuck
As you
up.
do.
Yeah.
Is what
as you do.
happened. Mm-hmm.
So this wasn't that much of a problem until it started becoming pretty obvious. Yeah, until it started really becoming a problem. Because like I would turn in assignments, I would know I turned them in, and then they would show up fucking missing in the school's website for like the grades and shit.
God, fuck, been there.
And
You watched those?
What?
You actually logged into those websites to check?
My parents did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God. Bad.
Yeah, like straight up, if it was my choice, I would have never checked that shit.
And neither did I, so
Nice.
I didn't know about the website we had till like 2 years into high school.
Nice. But yeah, so main thing was just like I was like 90% sure she was just losing our shit.
Wow,
But-
teacher one class.
Yeah, but I wasn't really thinking much of it until Brett, you both know him.
Yeah,
It started happening to him too, but it started happening a lot more frequently to him.
Kids. This,
Like-
just a heads up for the podcast viewers. Brett is a mutual friend of ours,
Yep.
and we'll just leave it at that. There's
Yeah, fair enough.
that's an open book. Or it's a book that we don't want to read just yet.
It's fair enough. But yeah, so anyway, it started happening to him a lot more often, and it got to the point where we both did the assignments at the same time, turned them in same day, because we both had the class like back to back, like it was me and then him.
Mm-hmm.
His would go missing, mine would be, like, turned in.
Oh.
So it was just it was straight up just one of those, like, teacher obviously has a bias against this one fucking kid for no reason, really.
Jesus.
I think about halfway through the year, his mom even, like, came in and just fucking yelled at her.
Your mom did or his mom? Like,
his mom, like, after that day, I don't think he had a missing assignment.
Damn.
Yeah. She was also like that teacher that she tried to act like she was kind of down with whatever the kids at the time were doing.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, dressing probably not like most teachers should.
Was she hot, though?
No. Not at all, dude.
Oh.
I like how that's the important question. Like, this is 8th grade.
8th grade.
Hayden, yes it is. The most important question.
Point is, she wasn't hot back then. I can guarantee she's probably still not.
People usually don't get prettier as they age.
Can confirm.
Unless they, like, lose weight and they become, like, cougars and MILFs. Like, oh, fuck.
Okay.
Is that the direction we're going now? Cougars and MILFs?
At some point.
Oh,
well,
God. Yeah.
Continue.
At least we're honest. No, that was really, like, the main thing that pissed me off about her. It was really just, like, the missing assignments and the fact that she was just kind of, like, she was trying to act a lot cooler than she probably should have been. It's kind of like how we do this podcast. She was, like, professionally unprofessional, you know?
Yeah.
Is that just how we're gonna keep calling this?
Professionally unprofessional? Yeah, that's what I market myself as on Twitter. What do you mean?
Yes, I know.
I actually do have a bit of a weird story about teachers if anyone wants to listen.
No, not at all.
Okay, I guess I won't.
Now, do we want to have Angel go and then you tell that story?
Sure.
Okay.
It's on the topic of teachers and one that might have been a pedophile.
Oh, shit. Okay.
What?
I may have had a pedophile for a music teacher. Anyway.
I mean, I had a teacher in fucking 7th, 8th grade that the students, she, like, used to treat kids like shit.
Mm-hmm.
So then somebody finally decided to do, like, a background check on her.
Oh,
and
no.
the kids wound up finding out that she had a charge for, at one point, she would go into stores, like, this was a 3 different occasions type of thing that she finally got arrested for, that she was switching price tags on items.
Oh,
so
I thought this was going in a completely different direction.
Yeah. So she finally, that same year, I think it was 8th grade, because we were all graduated, she ended up getting fired.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We were all very proud of that.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So, bad teacher-wise, because, I mean, I've had some, like, shit-ass teachers, but my counselor in high school kind of takes the cake for just, in general, anybody who was, like, overhead of me during school was, my counselor, Mr. Goldstein.
Goldstein.
Oh,
yeah.
Of course, his name is fucking Goldstein, bro.
This dude, like, didn't like girls, we kind of figured out, because all of his, like, male students that he would help them no matter what. He would always allow them to come into his office and, like, you know, just sit down. A lot of our, like, counselors were really known for, if you were just, like, struggling for the day and needed to go somewhere, but you didn't want to be in class, you could literally go to their office and just hang out, and they'd write you kind of like an excuse note as to, like, why you weren't in class at that time.
Yep.
Yeah, he would do that with his male students, but if his girl students were having a problem, well, sucks to suck. You just kind of had to figure it out. And so, like, one of the main problems was when it was first of all, my senior year, I had, like, horrible problems with him. I wanted to go into cosmetology at that point, and he never talked to me about, like, my college or, like, the future shit that they're all supposed to have a conversation with you. he literally skipped over me that day.
Oh,
Forgot.
wow.
And, like, never went back to do it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, to which his excuse was that because I was working in the College and Career Center for, like, the 3 years previous, that he thought she would have helped me with it. And she was even like, I'm not a counselor. I only do this section of work. I'm not supposed to help her through this. That's your job. But so I tried to talk to him about going into cosmetology because the college down the street from us had a program where you could start as a senior and then you, like, work up from there, basically.
Okay.
Well, problem was you were supposed to start that as a junior, but he never told me that. So I was past the deadline, and he was just like, well, you have to pick something else now. So I was like, okay.
You have to pick something else. Sucks for you.
Mm-hmm. So I picked a couple other classes, one of them being like a floral design class, which you could take all year. You do it like first semester, second semester. Turns out magically they didn't have enough people for second semester. So I had to pick something else instead.
But of course.
Well, between me, all of the girls that all of a sudden kept saying, yeah, they tried to pick that class too, and he said that there weren't enough people, to which you only need 15 students in order to complete a class.
Mm-hmm.
There were 15 girls that all said that they wanted the class, but magically said there weren't enough people.
Huh.
The teacher that was supposed to be teaching that class ended up bringing up all of his emails that he had sent to him specifically, arguing with him that he needs to stop telling students that they can't join the class.
Bruh.
Because that's just, like, damaging the reputation of the class itself.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, he literally was trying to cancel the class. Because the thing is, for certain classes, if they can't make up enough students for, like, multiple years in a row, the class gets cut.
Mm-hmm.
So this had been happening for 2 years, where he was telling people that they couldn't take advanced floral.
Yeah.
So at this point, the class would have been cut. And the teacher was trying to say, you can't keep doing that. That's, like, part of my job.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we were like, that's interesting. But we were seniors, so this was basically, we were, like, about to graduate when those emails, like, came out, and it was an argument that started happening.
Mm.
And then he also argued with me because I had completed all of the certain classes that, like, were required before you graduated. So at that point, when you're a senior, you can take late arrival or early dismissal. But if you're, like, doing really well and you have completed all of those, you could do both. And basically, or you could do, like, 2 early dismissals or 2 late arrivals. So then you can come in, like, third period of the day, and that's how you start your day.
Yeah.
Or you could,
hell yeah.
or like if you had it really good, how like me and Alexis did, I think our second semester, we had 6th period lunch. So then 7th and 8th period were our early dismissals. So we like left after the rest of the day. Like we went out for lunch and that was it. We were gone.
Mm-hmm.
So he tried to argue with me and say that I couldn't do that.
Oh.
And I was like, why? And it was like, because he's like, that's just not what I want you to do. And I was like, okay, well, that's not up to you. It's
Get fucked.
my choice and how I'm going to do my schedule. I've finished all of my requirements. I would like to take 2 early dismissals or at least make it a late arrival and early dismissal. I was like, either one, I'm still getting in. He was like, no, I'm not going to write it in. I was like, you can't do that to me. He's like, well, I'm going to put it in as you have 1 study class and then a early dismissal. I was like, I don't want a study hall class. Argued with him over and over to the fact that I had to bring my mother into this. And she started arguing with him and was like, you can't do that to her. I signed off on everything. She's allowed to take 2 early dismissals if she wants to. And he's like, well, I don't think that's the best case for her. And she's like, you don't get to decide what the best case for her is.
Dude.
But so we argued enough that he tried to still keep me in that study hall. I kept skipping the study hall, so they tried to give me a detention. And then finally, the woman who worked in the college and career center ended up yelling at him and arguing with him.
Oh no.
Enough to be like, move her from the study hall to in here. She'll be better over here than she is over there. So just do that, whatever, and she would let me leave if I really wanted to. Because after that was when I got to go home. So she'd be like, you don't have any work to do in here today, just go. I'm like, okay, cool.
Make like a banana and split.
Yeah.
Make like a banana and get the fuck out of there.
Oh my god.
I did. He told all of his students during our graduation, like, congratulations, and, like, was talking to them and shit. He wouldn't look at me whatsoever. He didn't say a word to me.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Cuck.
I was like, my mom so badly wanted to go into his office so many times and, like, tell him to go fuck himself. And I was like, no, it's fine. Don't.
Why didn't you let her, man? That would have been great.
He wasn't there anyway. At the end, I was like, all right, fuck it, let's go. Because we were at the office because I had to go pick something up, like, after hours, basically. Mm-hmm. And he had already left to go home.
Oh, motherfucker.
He saw the pussy, and then we went to go see my other teacher.
Nice.
Fucking pussy.
Because she wanted to go see the woman in the college and career center. Because if it wasn't for her, I would have really ended up a worse person than I am. So, yeah, she was like, I want to thank you for, like, actually taking care of her and, like, not letting him treat her like shit. All of a sudden, she didn't actually go home. We saw him, like, run past the window. And my mom just looked at me like she wanted to go after him, but she was like, now we're in the middle of a conversation. I'm going to stay here. This is fine.
It's like that scene from WWE, like, you take me to that son of a bitch. Go, 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 go. Where is he?
Okay, Hayden, you had another story?
Oh yeah, so I went to, in my elementary school, like me and my mother move a lot, so I've been to a lot of different schools. Mm-hmm. So I went to this school that was like, it was high income, technically high income.
Is it the same elementary school that you stole the charger from?
Yes, same one.
Okay, so yeah, we can skip that backstory.
Yeah, so Fitz, I think it was 6th grade. So we still had like art one week, music another week, PE another week. We all loved PE, but it was, our music teacher was very, like, he was just a weird dude. He had like, so this guy.
There we go.
Sorry guys, I had to edit something out. So this guy, he was really weird. He looked like he had like tree bark growing from his arms. Like, it looked like really bad psoriasis. He was like bald but had a mustache, like typical pedophile look. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what he was doing, but he was just like very like handsy and just weird.
Oh boy.
We did it.
Supposed to be his music teacher.
Yeah. Okay. This is like a repressed memory almost. So it's hard to dredge up from the swamp of my brain. Mm-hmm. But we fucking had to sing the Aqua Teen Hunger Force theme song at once.
Hell yeah!
No, it's like, I know it. At the time, I was like, I know what this is from. Why is he making us sing this? So after a while, he was like, the school said like, oh, he was on leave for a while, and we had like a substitute for a while until the end of the year. So it's like, I mean, I know it, like here, at least in our state, teachers don't have to do like a drug test or anything. It's like kind of easy to be a teacher. So who's to say this guy wasn't an actual pedophile making us sing the Aqua Teen Hunger Force theme song? It made no sense. And at the time, it was just like, it was so weird that it was like so weird that you had to ignore it. Like, your brain couldn't comprehend what was going on.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know where he's at. His name was, actually, I should probably say his name. Just for, yeah, while he may have been a pedophile, witness protection is a thing.
Witness protection?
Yeah, like, hello, my name is Mr. It began with a P. My name is Mr. P. I'm moving into your neighborhood. I have to let you know I'm a sex offender. Would you like to come to my barbecue next weekend?
Bring the kids. Everybody's invited.
Yeah, bring the kids. Bring the wife. It's all good.
It's the worst joke I've made, dude.
Bring the wife, bring the kids, all fun. They're gonna get a biology lesson, an anatomy course.
And then you just expanded on it.
There's a lot of creepy people out there.
True, dude.
In case you or our listeners haven't noticed, a lot of people are fucked up, and no one knows.
Yeah, we're three of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we're fucked up in a goofy way. I mean, like, we're not like
True.
setting rats on fire and fucking molesting children. That's not cool at all.
Wait, setting rats on fire? Where the fuck did that come from?
I remember this video I saw.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So, hang on, let me
Where it always starts.
Wait, do you need to cut this out?
possibly.
Oh no.
So, because there was this video I saw. I'll put like a TV static effect. So there's like this video I saw, and it was really messed up, but it made me laugh because I have a dark sense of humor. But this guy had like a rat in a cage, and you see him like pouring some sort of liquid into the cage, and it looks it's lighter fluid. So he lights it on fire, opens the gate, and this flaming rat comes sprinting out, and they put on initial D to the background. Gas, gas, gas. And this rat is on fire, running in the street to initial D. It was one of the most hilarious things I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Damn it.
Do I regret watching it? Not at all. Was it animal cruelty? Absolutely.
Leave that in,
was
holy
it goddamn
shit.
hilarious? Yes.
We're not. This is getting cut.
No, leave it in.
I can't laugh at that shit.
Leave it in, Hayden. You're the editor. You get to make the executive decision.
All right. I'll probably leave it in, but I'll leave it at the very end.
If you want, we can cut it and just add it to a blooper reel.
Yes.
Can I go back and start a different random story?
You can, but I need to use the bathroom first, so I'll be right back.
All right. It was Angel. I'll find the video and I'll send it to you. It's goddamn hilarious.
No, you sent me the video before. I know the fucking video.
It's like
I know exactly what you're talking about. You
gonna step on the gas. Be a hero. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, God.
This is after the edit. If you guys haven't watched the anime Initial D, it's pretty great. One of us here, we do like Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. Well, our very good friend John, he put together a campaign for us, and was primarily based around D&D. It was one of the most fun things we've ever done in D&D. We played as raccoons. Raccoons racing in Tokyo for garbage.
Yeah, and during our training, he used a not so kind friend of ours' shitty car as our training car, and decided to make it explode and fall off a hill.
Yeah, one of our friends, he has a brother, and his brother has like this Honda Civic STI, or no, that's Subaru. That's Subaru. Yeah, not anymore. But he had a Honda. It was like a Civic Si, and he modded it, like doing like I don't know what he did to it, but of course it's just like amateur mods and stuff. Anyway, in John's campaign, we used that as our trainer car, and eventually it fell off the side of a cliff and exploded and tumbled on the way down. Just because his brother, we kind of don't like him. It's not that we don't like him. Actually, no, we don't like him, and he has some shit, so we make fun of him for it. Anyway, if any of you guys have been trying to get into D&D, or you want to get into D&D, or you don't know and you're like curious about it, definitely try it. It's definitely an experience. It's definitely fun. If the public education system didn't absolutely crush your imagination, definitely give Dungeons and Dragons a try. It's very fun.
10 out of 10 would recommend. It's even more fun when your character canonically can't read.
Yeah, so we have a main campaign, and our good friend John, he's DMing for us. In case you guys don't know, DM means Dungeon Master. So he's the guy who can, I wouldn't say controls the pace of the story.
He's God, essentially.
He's the director. of our story. Anytime you start a story with your friends in Dungeons and Dragons, it's called a campaign. And anyone who's, in the know about anything knows what D&D is. So I guess I'm just wasting time explaining it. Either way, it's fun. Do it. I don't know where I was going with this. I'm drinking. It's not healthy.
Yo, mood.
Any of our audience listening, please don't be alcoholics. It ruins families. This has been a PSA by the Hayden Case Administration of Anti-Alcoholism. Please consider donating at 1-800-DRINKING's bad, okay?
No, I want to go back to
This podcast was made possible through contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
I just want to go back to the fact that Hayden said, please don't drink. Both me and Phoenix lifted up our drinks at the same time.
We here at the For the Boys podcast like to foster a community of mutual respect and good decisions. And drinking usually isn't one of them, but it makes a more interesting episode, better content overall. Hope you guys enjoy.
Who makes the good decisions here? Because I'm not a part of that.
Same.
I make the majority of my life, I make good decisions. I think we can all agree we make good decisions. Well, me and Connor make good decisions. Angel, I don't know.
She looks so offended, dude.
I'm playing Warframe right now, so I can't look, but I just know.
Dude, close the game. You should fucking. It's a good time. It's a good time over here.
Yeah, because my expressions are always amazing. Are you kidding?
I'm trying to think of a title for this video
when I'm
already.
not talking.
I'm thinking of
So, I mean, for the last one, I just ripped off the way friends did it, and I called it the one about video games. So I'm probably just going to title this one the one about teachers, since that's what we talked about for the majority of it.
Unless you want me to edit it, then I'll do like teachers D&D and alcoholism.
Can we go back to the fact, I was going to say, have I talked about the story before to either of you, how I don't rock climb anymore?
You don't rock climb?
Yeah, because somebody dropped me from like 2 stories down.
Yo.
When I was in elementary school.
You have not told me this story, but it sounds like a fun one.
Okay. So, in my elementary school, in our gym, we had a giant-ass rock climbing wall. And besides that, we also had like a giant-ass like hanging cargo net.
Yes, I remember this.
Yo.
Yeah, I used to be the shit at this. Like, I could climb up that thing like a fucking little spider monkey in, like...
Spider monkey! God damn it, Ricky Bobby.
And so, I used to be really good at it. I loved it. I'm gonna just call it as my District 203 fucking school line has a thing of... Well, I mean, most schools do, of using parents as volunteers to help with, like, certain school things.
Yeah.
My district in general, or the vicinity of any of my schools, is not the best idea to use parents as the volunteers, because...
A lot of single mothers.
Well, yeah, but, like, the parents just use it as, like, a time to, like, talk, especially when it is, like, the fucking... rich stay-at-home trophy wife mothers that don't do anything, just use it as time to like have their gossip and shit.
Ooh.
Anyways, so
take it all on. Alright, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Continue.
So I used to be good at it, and when we would do the rock climbing, normally the parents were the ones that would like hold the rope. And so when the kids wouldn't like hold on to each other, just because both of them, we knew that the kids were both so lightweight that if somebody had to keep coming down, the other kid would fly. So they were like, hey, we need a parent to make sure that they're like weighted enough to make sure that they just like repel the kid easily.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to be fine. I had a bunch of parents who like actually paid attention and would make sure, they like let the kids down easily and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
After the parents started getting used to this, a lot of the time they wouldn't pay attention to the kids anymore because they, you would think that the kids got it down at this point of like making sure to turn away from the wall and make sure that they would just like go down nicely and they weren't like spinning around or anything. So, mind you, my gym was like a fucking warehouse. So it was like 2 stories tall, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I just imagine you taking a bus to Detroit to an empty warehouse, like, all right, kids, have fun.
Why'd you do your Mr. Fontaine voice for the bus driver?
Congratulations, Mr. Fontaine. You're in a warehouse in Detroit. Your parents signed off on your permission slip, right?
Sure.
All right. Holy fuck. Continue.
Yeah, I used to climb on the cargo net mostly because that one was really fun because I could just grab on by 2 and like just leap myself up basically. Well, one time I went to do this, got all the way to the top, and the way that like the top worked was that it was just like bars going across that they had like tied the cargo net to. So a lot of the times the way that kids would turn around is like you would hold on to that bar and kind of like turn yourself and you could hang there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And when like parents would start to let you go, that's where like it would get slightly fun because you would hold on to that bar and just like hang there. And so like the longer that your rope would get in front of you, you would just like drop that far.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I didn't fucking do that. I was a little too scared to do that half the time. But so at this one point, I was See, yeah, well, things already went wrong in a completely opposite way, and I didn't need to anymore. I got that experience without wanting to experience.
I don't want it.
So before I was even going up, the moms were like in this little section. There was 4 of them, and they were just sitting and talking the entire time. So she didn't even care to like help me get like checked and safetied to make sure I was going up properly.
Mm-hmm.
She had to talk about her care and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So they just started and they were like, yeah, whatever, go ahead. So I said, okay. So I climbed up in like 2 seconds and I was already shouting down to her that I wanted to get down. And she didn't hear me the first couple of times. Finally, she looked up and saw I was up there, which I had just been hanging out for like 5 minutes at this point. And she was like, oh, do you want to come down now? And I was like, yes, please. She was like, okay. So she, as like they always have to say, turn around and make sure you grab onto the net so you don't spin back around. And I say, yeah, okay. So I went to turn around and I was holding onto the net a little bit. And I was still at the top, like the way top. So this is when like the cargo net isn't really formed anymore. It's just like the ropes kind of hanging a little bit. So you can't really turn yourself around from there. That's why you're supposed to use the bar, but I didn't because my arms were too short, so I couldn't use it.
Of course.
So I kind of just have to rely on like being able to like twist myself around. So I spun myself around, started trying to go down a little bit, and ended up rotating back towards the cargo net. In doing so, my foot went right through the net.
Oh no.
But I still kept going down.
Oh no.
So then at this point, my ankle and my foot got caught inside the cargo net.
Oh no.
He's not paying attention. So I'm now like upside down, like literally like flat up against the cargo net, upside down. And everybody's trying to tell her to stop loosening the rope. Because now the rope is like way past me. Just like she thinks she's letting me down, but she's not.
Wow, it's something a lot lighter.
I'm top of the cargo net here.
Yeah.
I haven't even got like midway down. I am still at the top.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get myself unhooked, and I can't. And then finally I do, but she wasn't paying attention. So I literally just free-aired it down to the ground, snack on my back.
Oh.
My leg. It was legit like when you see in a fucking cartoon or like when they try to show like people falling out of like a building and they land with like their leg behind them and they're like this basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like,
that's how I landed.
Nice.
My one leg was under me. My other one was just like crooked and I just landed like this. Now, when kids get repelled, normally they always say like you need to have as much slack as you can for like the next kid to like buckle up properly.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of kids, when you go down, we would literally like let ourselves go all the way like flat onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So she thought, again, because she didn't pay attention the entire time, all of the kids saw me splat on the ground, but none of the parents did. They just heard like the echoed noise and thought it was just me like
Just
hitting
the
the
huge
ground
fucking-
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just this fucking thunk.
Yeah, and all the
This
kids went,
squishy thunk.
but nobody said anything, and none of the parents did either. They just turned around, saw me laying on the ground, and she was like, "You good?"
Oh, she's fine.
Yeah, because they thought I was just laying down and I couldn't get up. And she just kind of looked at me and she's like, "You good?" And with all the wind taken out of me, I was just like, "Uh-huh." So then she was like, "Okay, are you going to get up then?" And I was like, "Uh-huh."
At some point.
Yeah. So then I finally, because my foot,
I gotta remember how to breathe.
I've
had
been
to,
smoking
like-
12 packs a day for the last 6 years.
he fucking breathe. And mind you, this is at a time where I have asthma too, so this is like lesser than no air. This is just like helium getting let out of a balloon. So, because my foot was like completely locked and snapped under me, I had to roll over, and the kids are like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I don't know." They're like, "You need to go to the nurse's office, I think. That was loud."
That was loud.
I was like, "I don't even know what to do." And they were like, "Okay." And so I like started to have to walk away. And because I fell on my leg, I had to start limping because I didn't know if I broke it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But so then my teacher, who was also like nowhere to be seen the entire time that this is happening, because he's like, "Hey, the parents can handle it and the kids are fine," just comes out of nowhere and like a bunch of people who were still crowding around me because they literally just saw me free fall from 2 stories, splat on the ground, and have to get up and walk away like nothing happened.
Oh my god.
Kept following me to make sure that I was still okay. And I like went up to my gym teacher and I couldn't even get the words out of that I needed to go to a nurse's office. So one of my friends was like, "She needs to go to the nurse." And he's like, "Why?" And everyone decided to just start shouting it at the same time of, "I just fell out of the sky." And
Yeah.
he was like, "What?" And finally he got enough breath to be like, "My foot got caught and I fell from the top of the cargo net." And he's like, "And nobody saw you?" I was like, "Well, the parents didn't." I was like, "Obviously everybody else did." And he was like, "Is anything broken?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Nice.
So then I had to go to the nurse's office where she gave me crackers and water and didn't call my mom.
The cure to all wounds.
Yes.
Just some crackers, some water.
Yeah.
Fucking
I kinda
medical
like
experience.
that,
We
and that
don't
was
need
about
that.
No.
I've also got a terrible nurse experience. School nurse story.
I have many of those.
Oh,
Like the time I
bet
got
you
pneumonia and
do.
was half dead.
I
You
bet
could go first.
Okay, so mine happened in middle school, fucking 8th grade.
You same.
Yo!
Ha ha ha.
Alright, so back in like elementary school through like the first maybe year of high school, I got chronic nosebleeds like pretty fucking bad.
Nuts.
Whoa.
Yeah. Sometimes, most like I'd say about 95% of the time, it was just kind of like normal nosebleed, like just I can just chill here, deal with it. Everything's fine. Probably go to the nurse because that's usually where they send you whenever you get a fucking nosebleed at school.
Possibly.
Yeah. But There was one. It was real bad. So, first class of the morning, 8th grade, fucking history class. I feel my nose like running a little bit, so I go to like, fucking wipe it away. Pull my hand back, it's fucking blood just all over my fingers. Love to see it. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to just start fucking dripping blood here, aren't I? Blood just fucking starts hitting my desk. I just get the fuck up, go grab a box of tissues. I don't even like have to ask the teacher or anything. I just look at him and he just fucking points to the door like, get the fuck out, go to the nurse.
Go do what you gotta do, boy.
Yeah, so I go to the nurse's office and I'm sitting there, head tilted forward trying to get like the blood to get the fuck out as fast as I can. I'm in there
for anything, get it out.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if it doesn't want to be in there anymore, might as well let it get out,
Sure.
So, I'm in there for like a few hours. It started at my first class of the day, and I ended up missing lunch because of this.
Nice.
Like, it never really let up either. It was just a constant stream of straight blood loss for like 2.5 hours.
Dude, nice. You got fucking anemia?
I fucking might, dude. I don't know.
No wonder you look like Edward Cullen.
Okay. Didn't need to do me like that, but okay.
You don't condone bullying here. Just kidding, apparently.
Yeah, so my main question there is like, why the fuck would you not call the kid's mom or parent or some shit if they've been sitting in the nurse's office for over 2 hours, just continuously bleeding profusely out of their face?
Oh, because they don't.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you
Hello?
good?
They don't want to be held liable for anything. I don't know. Like, I actually cracked my head open at one point at school. Like, I was leaking blood out of my head.
Oh, shit.
I broke the skin. I had to get 3 staples to get that crap fixed.
Oh, dear God.
And, yeah, they were like, I guess we'll call your mother. Like, yeah, no shit, you should call my mom. I'm fucking leaking out of my head.
Yeah, I was doing the same shit, but they never brought up the point like, hey, do you want us to call your mom? They just kind of like let me go.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, so after this ends, I got to go through the rest of the day because no cell phones allowed, so I can't text my mom and be like, hey, I've been bleeding out of my nose for the past 2 hours. Can you come pick me up?
Yeah, bro, this is kind of serious. You mind helping a G out?
Yeah. So I'm straight up just going through the rest of the day, basically on the verge of passing the fuck out because I've lost a decent amount of blood.
Shit.
And hungry because I had to miss lunch and they didn't let me like go and get my shit to eat.
Mm-hmm. Awful.
Yeah. So then I fucking get on the bus. I'm walking home, get to the bus stop, I'm walking home, legs are fucking shaking the entire way because I can't fucking walk uphill.
Jesus!
Shit was rough, dude.
Let me tell you, that's a rough one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really like the only... It was really the only bad school nurse story I've got.
I may just call this episode the horror of the public education system.
The one about school
edition.
I'm uploading it with the title "The One About School."
Yeah.
What about
The one about how it's real easy for pedophiles to become teachers, apparently.
Shit, dude. Background checks, am I right? Who needs those?
Stop touching me. Just stop making me sing the Aqua Teen Hunger Force song. That's from Adult Swim. What do kids know?
I mean, I
sure
used
this
to
is
watch
making you a better
that
singer?
in like elementary school.
What'd you say?
I used to watch Adult Swim in like elementary school.
Yeah, I used to wake up early to watch it. Like, I'd catch like the ass end of an episode of Inuyasha.
Inuyasha?
Yeah, Inuyasha. It was an anime. They had it on Adult Swim for a while.
I know.
I remember there was this episode about a man who turned invisible, but he wasn't actually turning invisible. He was just paper thin. So when he turned onto you, he was like as thin as a paper, and you couldn't see him.
We're not talking about Brett. We're talking about an anime.
Shit.
Our friend Brett is very thin.
And
Apparently we
pale.
bully him for that, I guess.
Yeah, don't tell him that. He gets very.
He's not. Yeah. Oh, he's real butthurt.
Well, when I do it, apparently he's very butthurt.
Well, Brett's not real.
Jesus. You say he's not real?
He's not real.
Did I date a catfish? What the fuck?
They dated an actual fucking fish.
I dated a piece of paper is what I dated.
Angel, how do you change your camera in Warframe? I changed it the wrong way, and I don't know how to put it back, and I'm too drunk to look it up.
Anyways, if you want to hear my story of how I almost died, and it started with my arm hurting.
Oh boy.
Having a stroke?
No, I found out scientifically through high school science education
Mm-hmm.
that my diaphragm could apparently have spaz attacks to where it forgets how it's supposed to go when you breathe.
Mm-hmm.
That when I was trying to inhale, it was closing, so I couldn't actually get air
Oh no.
instead of opening.
Imagine not having normal lungs. This post made by the Normal Lungs gang.
You're literally the only one here that can say that.
Dude, I got good genetics, alright?
I wish, dude.
I'm the only one that actually has asthma, so
No, I do too.
no in my family.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my grandma on my mom's side does, but that's the only other person.
Yeah, nobody in the family does. Anyways, so mind you, other little backstory behind this. My mom didn't necessarily for my asthma or anything like that, like even Tylenol wise or anything. She didn't care to have to give that information to my school
Mm-hmm.
because if I was gonna have a headache or something, I might as well carry it on me.
Alright.
Your mom's a boomer shit.
Yeah, even though we weren't really supposed to, so she was like, just hide it in your bag, like nobody's really gonna give it.
Exactly.
But so, because of that, she didn't care to give the information to the nurse's office. So even if something happened where I didn't have anything on me and I tried to go to them and be like, hey, I have a headache. Well, because they don't have a file on me, they weren't allowed to give anything to me.
Right.
So then at that point, I would basically have to suffer through whatever was happening.
Mm-hmm. As you do.
Yeah, right. Which also including that, which wasn't the smartest part, because I have asthma, even if I had to run the mile and shit, they didn't have an inhaler for me. My mom never gave it to me because it was only for times of emergency. So then it stayed home
Mm-hmm.
because apparently emergencies were nothing.
Yo, same.
Yeah. So I woke up one morning and I had like a really bad pain in my arm.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept telling my mom like something was off, like I didn't feel well and I wanted to stay home. And I argued with her for a while and she was like, nah, you're going to school. So I was like, okay. But we live like this was in middle school. So I live like directly back from my old middle school. So, and it takes her forever to like get up and get ready for work after I would be at school. So she was like, if you really have a problem, then like just call me and I'll come pick you up, whatever. But as of right now, you're going to school.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I get to school and the pain in my arm slowly traveled from my arm to my back and then moved forward to my chest.
Oh boy.
And so like everything started feeling really heavy and that's when I like started kind of having like a hard time breathing. But I was just like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then between first period to second period, I really started struggling being able to breathe. And it looked like, it was like I was basically holding my breath, but I didn't know why. And I couldn't stop it. And people could see that I was having a problem. So everyone was like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know. I don't think so. But my mom told me I have to be here. So yeah, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, okay. By third period, I couldn't take it anymore. And I was like, I need to go to a nurse's office. Like, I can't breathe. I don't know what's happening, but I can't breathe.
Oh boy.
So I tried to go to a nurse's office, but my school had this plan where because kids would like try to use going to the nurse as an excuse and then like play hooky to like roam around the rest of the school. We had a system of you had to bring a buddy with you in order to go to the nurse's office.
Oh boy.
But so I tried to ask my teacher and I was like, I can't breathe. I need to go to a nurse's office. So she was like, okay, go. So I tried to go, got to the nurse's office, and they were like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I can't breathe. They're like, well, you don't have somebody with you. So I was like, I can't breathe. I was like, somebody needs to help me. And they're like, you didn't bring a buddy with you. We can't help you until you bring somebody with you. So go back to class.
Bro, what?
Yeah. So I was like, what? Okay, fine, whatever. So I went back to class. And again, mind you, from like first period to about now, I had just slowly deteriorated. And I am looking worse and worse. So I come back to class. And I am having way more of a hard time breathing. And at this point was probably when I like started changing physically.
Oh no.
And started looking a little more gray, I would say about now. So I walked back into the class and my teacher's like, oh, why are you back here? And I was like, she said that I didn't have a partner, so she wasn't going to take care of me. And I was like, I need to go back though. I can't breathe. And she's like, yeah, I could see that. So then she just picked a kid who barely even knew me and was like, hey, take her to the nurse's office. So the girl was like, okay, whatever. So she started trying to walk with me and she's like, so what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I can't breathe. And she was like, oh, okay. So then we get to the nurse's office. Yeah. We get to the nurse's office. She opens up the door and the nurse looks at her and goes, so what's wrong with her? And the girl just kind of looks at me and goes, I don't know. And I was like, I can't fucking breathe. Can anybody just help me? And she was like, okay, well, sit down. And then she asked, like, the girl that brought me to sign me in. And the girl was like, what's your name?
Bro.
I fucking hate all of this. So I told her my name, and you have to, like, write in your ID number, too, so that she was like, what's your ID number? I'm like, you know what? Go back to class. I can write. I'm fine. Sure. So I gotta write it in. And then I'm sitting there, and the lady starts trying to look for my file. And at this point, then she's like, we don't have a file for you for the nurse's office.
Oh, motherfucker.
And I was like, well, what? Which at the time, like, I didn't quite understand what that meant. Like, she was trying to say that, like, I wasn't on file for the entire school. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, obviously, I go here, I have a file. And she's like, no, like, we don't have anything for you. Like, do you use an inhaler? I was like, yeah. She's like, well, we don't have an inhaler for you. We have nothing that says, like, you could take Tylenol or shit. I was like, I don't think Tylenol is going to fix this. I was like, I think I need to go to a hospital.
Yeah.
She's like,
maybe.
No. Yeah. So she goes to check my temperature then because she was like, maybe you're running a fever. My temperature was completely fine, apparently.
Yeah.
And she was like, so you're not feeling well. Or she's like, you're not feeling well then. She's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I never said I was sick. I don't have a fever. I'm like, I can't breathe. And she's like, yeah, well, I don't understand what that means. She's like, describe it to me. So I was trying to tell her that, like, when I tried to breathe in, it was stopping right here, which apparently nobody knew what the fuck that meant. And then it took until I got into fucking biology that they were like, hey, here's where your diaphragm is. And your diaphragm could go schizo on itself and fucking forget how to function. And I was like, oh, so nobody knew that you had a fucking diaphragm when I was in middle school?
Guess not.
They just hire the most. Every public school hires the most brain dead individuals to work in the fucking health office. Like, I'm calling out all teachers right now. Y'all don't know all people who work in that office. Y'all don't know shit about shit.
Yeah, I mean, you're not
You put
wrong.
unironically, you put a lot of kids' lives at risk because you're a fucking idiot. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, I kept saying that, like, my breath was stopping right here and I couldn't breathe. And she was like, well, I don't understand what that means. I was like, I don't know what else to tell you. I literally just can't take breath in and I'm suffocating myself. To which her reaction was basically, lol, just stop then. And I was like, oh, yeah.
She just told you, okay, boomer.
Yeah. So then she was trying to sit there and she was like, did the same thing. Here's some crackers. Here's some water. When you feel better, go back to class. And I was like, I didn't take any of it because I was like, this isn't going to help me. This isn't what is happening. So then I tried to pull out my phone to text my mom because I kept asking her to call my mom and she refused to because I didn't have a temperature. So she wasn't pulling me out of school.
Bro.
And I was like, okay, but I can't breathe. I was like, so this is different than having fever. I was like, and you said that you don't have anything on report for me, but my mom has an inhaler at home when she's at home, so somebody can bring me something then. And she basically consistently refused to call my mom. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it myself then. So I tried to pull out my phone, and she was like, hey, you can't use your phone. And I was
you.
Bro.
Yeah, I was like, I can't breathe. And she's like, you're not allowed to use your phone in school hours. I was like, I'm having problems. I'm like, and you're refusing to call my own mother, so I am going to call her again. So finally, she kind of like just was like, whatever, and turned her back on me and stopped helping me at that point. So I texted my mom because I just didn't call her. And I was like, I can't breathe. They're not helping me. Please come here. So she finally started coming. This is when things started getting hazy on my point.
Boy.
When you start suffocating yourself for the past 3 hours, you start trying to pass out. That's what happens. So, from what my mother then told me after this point, she came walking into the nurse's office, and I was like half keeled over and green and gray.
Oh boy.
Oh.
And
That's
so
not a pleasant
my
color
mom,
combination.
yeah, and my mom looked at me and was like, what the fuck? And looked at the nurse and was like, what happened? What is wrong with her? To which the nurse was like, I don't know. She's not running a fever. She's not sick. She told me that she couldn't breathe. And my mom was like, okay, look at her. Did she look like this when she came in? And the nurse was kind of like, basically like that she wasn't really paying attention, but I did look grayish. And my mom was like, and you didn't think to call me? You didn't think to start calling 911? Like, the girl can't breathe. That's a difference than like just having a cold. And she was like, well, no. So then at this point, because I was like, I couldn't stand up. I was dizzy. I couldn't see anymore. So then the lady started panicking and was like, should we call an ambulance? Do you want me to call 911? And my mom was like, no, I'm already here. I might as well drive her there myself. Like, what the fuck? And so then she still had to go through the entire process of signing me out of school.
Bro.
She's dying.
Jesus Christ.
Can we do this later? And they were like, no, you have to properly sign her out.
I swear to God.
Yeah, she did.
Why'd your mom stay? Couldn't she have just grabbed you and fucking walked away?
What is the school gonna do?
I don't know.
The school's gonna call the cops because your mother took you out of school? Oh, she didn't sign our little fucking piece of paper. Fuck you. Public school is like actually the worst shit ever.
Yeah. So she had to do that, but they made it quick. At least they were just like, sign one thing. Because my mom kept arguing. So finally they were like, just sign this notepad and we'll say that that's it. So we started leaving, and my mom was like on our way, and the hospital wasn't too far, but like I started passing out at this point. Like I really just wanted to take a nap, and my mom was like, no, you can't go to sleep. I don't know what's going to happen if you go to sleep. You're not going to sleep.
If you go to sleep, you might not wake up.
Yeah. So I was like, come on. I was like so tired. That's all I remember. I was like, I just want to take a nap. She's like, no, you're not. And she like kept like pushing me to keep me awake. She just kept tapping me. So then we finally got there.
I was gonna say, I feel like your mom is the kind of person that would have like driven through a fucking Starbucks and gotten you a coffee just to keep you awake while she drove you to the hospital.
Probably she would have. She would have started like rocking the car back and forth in order to like keep me jittering.
Just going like, just jerking the wheel repeatedly, just
Yeah.
Gets pulled over, just like, so why are you swerving? Are you drunk? No, I'm just trying to keep my dying child awake.
Don't worry, officer. I got this. I'm just trying to keep my kid from fucking actually dying.
Yeah.
Cop looks over you. I don't see anything wrong with her.
Hey, she looks fine to me. Give her an ibuprofen and send her back to class.
So we get to the doctor's office, and the my regular doctor wasn't there, so somebody else was helping me instead.
Of course.
And she barely she looked at me and she was like, "You don't look right." I was like, "Oh, really? No way."
You don't say.
You don't look right.
And then she barely listened to my chest and immediately got me on a nebulizer.
Nice.
So yeah, which I'm used to using one of those. So immediately when I started using it, I almost immediately felt better. And she was like, "Can you breathe now?" And I was like, "Yeah." And my mom was like, "What the fuck? What kind of voodoo magic? How is that what her problem was?" And nobody else could figure this out. And so she walked away for a couple minutes as I was doing the breathing treatment so she could go take care of something else. And then she came back and so you're coming down with pneumonia, which
nice.
Isn't surprising for me. I've had pneumonia multiple times up until this point, and I've always had my asthma and shit. So she was like, "Yeah, so you're coming down with pneumonia." And my mom was like, "How do you know that?" Because again, I didn't have a fever. I wasn't sick.
Hold on a second.
Yes?
Motherfucker! Also, speaking of nebulizers, you see that box, fucking right there?
Oh,
yeah, that's the nebulizer medicine shit, because I'm using that shit right now. Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, you sound fine to me. Go back to class. I'm a public school teacher. I'm a public school teacher, health nurse. Fucking, I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground. And I'm in charge with your child's health.
Hell yeah.
This is my message to everyone listening to this podcast. When you have kids,
don't fuck
whether you
them up.
want them or not, send them to public school. Or not public school, send them to private school. Don't send them to public school.
Also,
they're going to let your kid die.
On a different note, if you don't want kids, don't have kids. Straight up, it's pretty fucking simple.
Yeah.
There's a lot more female birth control forms than male birth control forms. So, fellas, make sure your girl's on one. Wear a condom if she's not. Ladies,
get a vasectomy if you're really that serious about it.
But vasectomies usually aren't reversible.
That's the point.
Yeah, but you're gonna think you're hot shit in your 20s and go out and yeah, I'm never gonna have kids. Then you're gonna hit 27, man, I really want a son. And then you're not
Dude,
gonna
I know I'm not gonna want to have a kid.
Dude, you got autism.
Exactly. That's the point.
Right, but
I know what it's like to be depressed. I know what it's like to be depressed and autistic. I don't want to have another person go through that shit because of my own doing. Anyway, we've been going for about an hour, 20 minutes. Do we want to wrap it up, or do we have more shit to talk about?
I think we stretched out a single topic over the course of an hour. I think that's pretty impressive. So
yeah, dude, that's consistency. We just had to get drunk to do it.
Exactly. And
maybe alcoholism is a solution.
The promise of consistency, quality, and good content will be broken soon. Just hold fast. Anyway, yeah, we can wrap up our final thoughts and then call it a session if you want.
All right. Wrapping up my final thoughts. Fuck you, Miss Keller. That's pretty much it. What about you guys?
If you're a public school nurse, you've put a lot of kids' lives at risk because you're an idiot. So that's my final thoughts on it.
Angela, you got any final thoughts you want to share?
Art school teachers are the shit.
I bet.
Okay.
All right. Anybody want to unplug their shit?
My name is Hayden. You can find me at Hayden Case is on the case. Last name Kase. First name Hayden. If you can't spell that, sorry. Hayden.
I'll put it in the description.
That's my Instagram.
Man, I'm dyslexic. You gotta slow it down.
If you
all
know
socials
me,
will be in the description.
Yeah, if I become friends with you on Instagram, I'll hook you up with my Snapchat. But until then, that's the only really social media I use.
Angel, you got
Angel.
anything?
Sketching Angel on Instagram.
Bet.
Sketching Angel on Instagram, like drawing, sketching. Connor.
Yeah.
your
Phoenix
plugs, my
underscore
man?
edits for everything except YouTube. It's just Phoenix edits without the underscore. That's pretty much it.
Nice, bro.
Yeah.
Barely just started posting too.
Okay, motherfucker.
This again? Really?
Are we really
Yeah.
just gonna keep signing off by you roasting my upload schedule?
Yes.
I'll cut that out on you.
No, hold on. You
No,
were
leave it in.
supposed to be on Twitch earlier, and you still didn't.
That's not on me.
I mean, you were editing earlier. Isn't that what your Twitch is supposed to be for?
Thank you guys so much for tuning into For the Boys podcast on Sunday, February 2nd. Hopefully you guys stick around for more. It's only going to get better and or worse. So that ought to be a fun journey for you.
Better quality wise, worse topic wise.
I like
Exactly.
that you gotta make sure you put that it's Sunday, even though these are going out on Saturday.
Whatever, people want to know. If it's a week behind, who cares? Anyway, Angel, shit sniffer.
Damn.
I'm Hayden. This is Connor.
Sup?
And this is Angel.
Yee.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
See you.